It's raining. The canal is flooding in places and it's predicted to rain all day today. Luckily where we are above the lock and above the weir, so it shouldn't flood too much there, but below the lock, below the weir, it's flooding. The time was fast approaching to have a break and go somewhere dry. Miles' sister was getting married in Marrakesh, so we moved Alba late at night to keep the continuous cruising rule as the 2 weeks were up. We filled up the water at the water point in Canterbury, moored up in a very questionable, soggy place, and stacked the pegs into a muddy bank. Good luck, Alba, we're off to Morocco. We have a grand plan of going to the Sahara desert and staying in the tent there for the night. We are on a group tour because the drive is very, very long, and we decided to let someone else do the driving in the country we've never been in. First, we're off to the Atlas Mountains. It's a mountain range that stretches around 2,500 kilometers.
Yes, this is all about Las Montañas.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to go for Picatas.
On the first day, we stopped at Eid Ben Haddou, a historically fortified village. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site that is located along the former caravan route between Sahara and Marrakesh.
Eid Ben Haddou.
This village frequently became a stage for Hollywood movies such as Game of Thrones. The majority of the population, which is about 70 families, now lives across the river in the new houses with modern conveniences, and apparently only about 5 families still live in the old part. In the village, we came across an artist who painted with an invisible ink made from green tea and sugar, and then caramelized it over the fire to create dark browns and make painting magically pop.
Smells caramelized, ça sent crème brûlée, because there is a lot of sugar in the tea. Whiile is crema catalan.
That's why it smells good.
Oh, it's like this.
That's awesome.
Eid Ben Haddou stands on the bank of a river with salt water because it's coming off the mountains. They use a mix of this river water and clay to repair the houses, which need to be redone every couple of years as they disintegrate under the rain. At the end of the first day, we arrived at a beautiful gorge where we were staying for the night and found a tiny puppy sleeping on the edge. The riad we're staying at is family run. I think most of them are. They're not just like hotels. We're now in the lands of Berber peoples who played their native instruments and strongly encouraged us, by what I mean we couldn't say no, to get involved. So we tried on their festive clothing and played with the drums.
I'm gonna wear it for my sister's wedding.
I was gonna say that. I want my protection when you read that poem.
Morocco is a religious country and the vast majority are Muslim. The next day we went to a traditional Barber village and visited a mosque. It was a bit nerve-wracking to go on the roof because this building felt a little on the soft side, but the view of the gardens was worth it. Apparently there are two types of pomegranate in Morocco, one sweet and one sour. This was a sour one. And then we met a local cat who wanted Miles to share his ice cream with him. Very keen. Mint tea is something Moroccans drink a lot, and as I've discovered, it wasn't only fresh mint and water, it was a combination of sugar, green tea and mint. There wouldn't be a visit to Morocco without going into a carpet shop, which I loved, and I wished I had more room in my suitcase to take a few home. And this is something I found interesting. This is a very elaborate tent peg for the desert dwellers, and it's heavier than it looks. This made me think of Alba, and I was hoping that our pegs held up and she wasn't drifting off on a weir somewhere. We are on our way to the Sahara now. It's so amazing to see the dunes popping up on the horizon. I've never seen anything like that in real life, so I'm very excited.
Okay guys, you can go.
Hello friends.
They do spit, so don't get too close. It's like green.
What do they eat?
Sand.
They don't eat sand. To get to our camp, we're going on camels and traveling in a caravan. At first, I was scared to fall off or even hold on with one hand, but we had over an hour's journey and so got used to it very quickly. Without discussing it, we named our camels very similar. Mine was Biscuit and Miles' one's is called Oreo. We must have been hungry. I can't put it into words, the impact of this still evening in the desert. It was so peaceful, and with only the dunes and the sky presenting themselves in a contrast, there was so little visual stimulation that made me feel very relaxed. The only thing I could compare it to is looking at a calm sea. We stopped at sunset and our new friend Peter very generously let us use his 360 camera. Thank you so much, Peter, that was fun, and sometimes it works like a drone, which is not allowed in Morocco. This is our desert camp. When it got dark, the wind picked up, bringing a sandstorm with it. I didn't think filming in the storm was a good idea, so I didn't, but this is what the sky looked like. There were so many stars, I've never seen more in the sky. Because of the darkness and also because of the unrestricted horizon in every direction, it felt like being under a dome of stars, the most beautiful feeling. The next morning we were up at 6 AM to start the long journey back to Marrakesh. By the way, this is our tent that had a shower and a toilet in it. I don't know how they do it, but it was very comfortable. The only regret I have is not staying in the Sahara for an extra night, but we had a wedding to attend. The journey back was surprisingly different. Firstly, I felt way more comfortable on the camel and didn't worry about falling off. And then the Sahara itself has changed. With the wind, the dunes were slowly disintegrating in front of our eyes. With the backdrop of the sunrise, it was so beautiful. And in the storm, there was again this feeling of being at sea. It was almost like the dunes were the waves. I guess the simplicity of the landscape is similar, and that's the only thing my brain can compare it to. We had a long journey ahead and spent a whole day traveling back to the city. We went for dinner expecting to have some tagine, a traditional Moroccan meal, which we ate almost every night, but ended up with a whole lot of entertainment. We even attempted the tassel spinning.
My head's too small. I can do it when I touch it. It's too small. YOLO.
We couldn't leave Marrakesh without visiting Baha Palace. It was built in the mid-19th century for Ba Ahmed as a private house, and in 1908, after Ba Ahmed's death, became a royal residence. The palace feels like a labyrinth because it was built in stages with multiple additions over time.
I feel I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to get told off. But it's driving me mad. Absolutely mad.
The decor of this place is mind-blowing. The floors are paved with marble and tiles. The ceilings are made with intricately carved cedar wood, and the amount of detail everywhere is amazing. Unfortunately, the palace suffered significant damages during the earthquake in September, so some areas were being repaired and were off limits. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this Moroccan adventure. You'd be pleased to know Alba's pegs held up and we found her exactly where we left her upon our return. I'd like to give a special thanks to our patrons. Without you, we wouldn't have been able to make these videos. If you've been watching for a while, please consider joining our Patreon community and support our channel. Sending you all our love. See you in the next one.